my beautiful angels, welcome. I'm so excited about today's video. I'm going to be talking about confidence. This is something that a lot of people struggle with, and if you struggle with confidence, just know that it's not you, it's probably the environment that you're in. It's probably how you were brought up to view yourself, or maybe you've been through things in your life that have brought your confidence or your self-esteem, or the way that you view or you see yourself in a negative light. It's brought it down, right? So today I want to talk about just a few simple things, a few little changes that you can make to your life, some steps that you can take to just feel better about yourself and feel like you are worthy of taking up space and worthy of just trusting in yourself. Because that's what confidence is. It's very simple. It is basically the trust that you have within yourself, right? It's the trust that you have in you. It's the trust Isabel has in Isabel. And often we view other people and we can easily trust them, right? Like I've talked about in previous videos, we can easily trust the pilot who is flying us to our destination even though we've never met him, simply because he is the pilot and we assume he's had many, many years of experience, and that's why I can easily get into a huge tube in the sky and trust whoever's flying it, right? So this is where we have to view ourselves in the same light. As easily as it is for us to get on an airplane and have somebody else fly us to our destination, or whatever it is, however many times you trust complete strangers, right? Your restaurant making your food correctly, you trust the people in the back, you're not back there checking what they're doing, right? We can easily trust ourselves in the same way. So confidence doesn't have to do with the way you look. A lot of people think that, oh, when I look like this or when I have this, then I'll be confident, right? And they'll do all types of things to their body, to their outside self, and they're neglecting what's going on within. And this is something I went through very early on. I was a very shy girl growing up, as many of you guys know, and I've talked about this. I was super shy. I didn't start working on my confidence until maybe I was in high school, and I would put myself out there, right? I was on the debate team, I would do theater, and all these things that, for a shy person normally you wouldn't do, but I'm glad I did them because I enjoyed them, and also they made me, feel better about myself and made me feel more trustworthiness in myself that I could do certain things. So now as a new mom, I had my daughter about a year and a half ago almost, and I would say motherhood and postpartum brings just a whole new level of confidence, like, oh my gosh, who am I? What am I doing? Just questioning all these things about yourself. And so recently I've had to go through my own confidence journey again, through weight gain, through my body changing, through hormones, through your mood changing, and so many changes going on, and adopting a new identity as a mother and not getting lost in it and knowing who I am. So that's just what I've been through. And so I'm going to share today the things that I have used myself for confidence, also the things that I have my clients work on as well as they are working through confidence. So know that you are a beautiful being, and doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, as I always end all my videos with the same tagline: everything comes from within. And that's because we have to start from within, and when we work on ourselves from within, the outside will start to change. You can look however, you can be wearing dirty, raggedy clothes, but as long as you're confident, it will emanate out of your pores. And that's what I want you guys to realize, that it's not about the external, it's the internal that matters most. Because there are people who look absolutely stunning and beautiful and they are dying of insecurity inside, and I do not want that to be you or any of your loved ones. So let's talk today how to become more confident. Step number one is to become self-aware. This is something that I've talked about so many times in my videos, is self-awareness. Do you even know who you are? Do you know what you're good at? Do you know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are? So I have my little journal here. I'm actually reading my notes that I wrote for this video, but keeping a journal and just writing down, what are you good at? Make a list, that simply. What are you good at? Well, for me, it was like, I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at helping others, I would say. I'm good at just putting myself out there. I'm good at being a mom, I would say too. I think I do pretty well being a mom, and I'm good at, organizing. I'm good at, staying on top of my goals. So I'll just go down a list and write these things down. And then on the stuff I'm not good at, I would say I'm not that great at time management, right? I'm not good at, sometimes being upfront with how I feel about certain things. I will tend to kind of hide how I feel about things to make others feel better, right? So I'm not good sometimes at not letting my emotions get the best of me. I'm not good sometimes at, waking up early. I'm not good at, being super energized. Like there's, some things that sometimes I struggle staying motivated with certain things. So those are the things that I, keep myself in check, right? I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at, right? And so when people, usually our confidence will derive from how people see us and how people view us, which I will get into in a little bit. But the key to self-awareness is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Why? So that nobody can use them against you. So no one can make you feel bad that, somebody will say, oh, well, Isabel, you always wake up late in the morning. You are not a morning person. I'll say like, yeah, I know I'm not a morning person. I'm way better off at night or in the afternoon or whatever. So, those are things that I know that I'm good at some things and I'm not good at other things, right? But I'm not going to let the things that I'm not good at make me feel bad about myself. Oh, hey, Mickey. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to allow myself to either fix certain things that I don't like about myself and I wish to improve on. So you can get that list of the things that you're not good at or what you would call weaknesses, right? And you can focus on improvement or acquiring new skills. Or if this is something that you've always wanted to excel at, having that growth mindset, saying, maybe let's use this, I'm not good at math. So I would say, since I'm not good at math, maybe I will take that limiting belief I had around math and instead start to learn new skills, right? Start to learn new things about finance. That was a huge limiting belief I had, or, things that I believed about myself was that I wasn't good with money. So I had to go through all that and gain more skills and knowledge. And as you gain more skills and knowledge in something that you're not good at, you will gain more confidence in it. So think of it this way. You will see a big book of physics and you never open that book. So would you have confidence in yourself in physics? Probably not. You would say, I suck at physics. But what if you had a tutor, you went to class, you read your books, and you actually learned about physics? Then you would actually have confidence within yourself, right? About physics. So confidence within you versus having confidence in a particular subject is you knowing more about yourself, right? You knowing exactly who you are. And that's the thing, a lot of people nowadays, they don't know who they are because they've let other people tell them who they are, or they just gone with the flow and they're trying to fit in to being somebody who they're not. Thus, they're not checking in and actually getting to read the book of their soul. So this journaling, knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at, this is just the beginning. This is just the surface of who you are. There's so much more within, which is why I always say keep a journal, keep a way of you knowing and being self-aware, how you react to certain situations, what are your triggers, what are your glimmers of things that make you light up, right? Who are you? And as you dig deep and you create who you are and you find out who you are, you become more confident in knowing who this person is, and know that even if people judge or whatever they may say, you know who you are. But improvement, as I was talking about earlier, gaining new skills in those areas that you're not good at is going to help you so much with your confidence, because taking ownership over what you're not good at and owning what you're not good at, owning different aspects of you, that will increase your confidence in your self-esteem, because you realize I'm not stagnant. I can grow, I can change, I can take on new projects, new ventures, and that's going to help you so much. So I also love to look at the side of the things that I'm good at or my strengths, and I like to strengthen my strengths, right? Work more on the things that I want, that I'm good at, so that if we don't sharpen those skills, they'll eventually go away. It's kind of like a language. If you're good at learning languages, which reminds me, I stopped practicing. I was really good at French a few years ago and I let it go. And now I only know little bits and pieces here. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go back and study some French, and that will make me have a new level of who I am, right? And reach a new level of me and my capabilities. So self-awareness is beautiful. You know what you're good at, know what you want to improve on, you improve those things that you're not so good at, and you also get to know yourself even more in the process. And you'll realize, wow, the things that perhaps seemed impossible to you years ago now feel so possible. You just see yourself in a whole new light. So self-awareness, beautiful thing. Step number 2 is to take the throne of your life. We recently saw the coronation, all that, whether you're into it or not. But we should see different seasons in our life, right? Us coronating ourselves, us taking the throne of this new season of us. And if you've been through a tough time, or you're a new mom, or you're adjusting to a new season of life, whatever it is, we must take responsibility over our life by taking the throne. So responsibility and power go hand in hand. With great power comes great responsibility, but if we want more power in our life, that means we have to take responsibility over our life. We're no longer putting those things in other people's hands. We are going to take our power back and actually take the power back from other people, what they say about us, how they think of us, how they may view us. None of that is your business. Instead, take it back and say, actually, I want to see, how do I view myself? What is my self-view? Take out your journal, write it down. How do I view myself? How does Isabel view Isabel, right? Do I see myself as a capable person? Or do I choose to see myself as somebody who's a victim, somebody who's not good enough, somebody who is constantly being judged, somebody who isn't treated well by others? Let's change the perspective and actually say, no, I'm actually a person who knows who they are. I have a few close friends, somebody who enjoys the company of few versus of many. I'm a person who respects myself. I am impeccable with my word. That book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, is amazing about this. One of the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. Am I a person who lives my life with integrity? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's what's important, right? Be the king or the queen on the throne. That's how you must conduct yourself. Because how others treat you, view you, whether they validate you or not, whether they see you as beautiful, talented, smart, whatever, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with that person who's judging you, right? It has everything to do with the one who is saying, like, somebody who feels beautiful about themselves, or they just are loving, or they have a lot of love within them, they're going to seek out the beautiful in other people, even the broken ones, right? But those who are constantly self-judging and constantly self-criticizing and all these, they're going to criticize others, right? Or they'll put others on a crazy pedestal. It's not healthy either. So you have to make sure that you're not being so hard on yourselves based on what other people see. Instead, be loving towards yourself, have respect towards yourself, be kind towards yourself, be loving towards yourself, and you will see how your whole image is going to change about you. It's really important, guys, that you stay focused on your present and your future, not what's going around you or what happened in the past with, ex-friends or, whatever may happen, right? Let bygones be bygones. Leave it in the past. Somebody who is, building an empire, building their future, sees themselves as the queen or the king on the throne, they are going to be focused on the present and looking towards the future, not looking back. There's nothing left for you there. This is your one life. This is your life, nobody else's life. It's not your parents' life. It's not your boss's life. It's not your significant other's life. It's nobody else. It's your life. That's why you have to be so protective and so, you have to take so much ownership over your life, not give your decisions away, not let anyone make decisions for you, not let anyone come and influence you. You have to be so powerful. Your life, your world, your inner world, that is your kingdom, and you have to treat it, and your heart, you have to respect it. So make sure that you are viewing yourself in that way, because if you're talking to yourself negatively, if you're listening too much to other people, if you're gossiping, all these things, those things will lower your self-esteem. Those things will make you feel just low about yourself, low vibration, whatever it is. So by you speaking kindly about yourself, treating yourself with respect, taking responsibility over your life, you will just have a whole new way of viewing you and your life. You will see opportunities open up. You will see people will start to treat you differently. But that's not the end all be all. The end all be all is how you view you, how you treat yourself, how you conduct yourself, and how you feel about you. Number 3, take up space. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can literally take up space, right? Literally, but I'm talking about making your voice known, making your presence known, and most importantly, boundaries, right? A lot of times when we're afraid to take up space, we're afraid to set boundaries. We're afraid to say no. We're afraid to say, sorry, I can't go. because we're afraid of disappointing other people because we don't want them to view us as somebody bad. This is something that I have struggled with all my life, is being able to say no. I always had to be the quiet, agreeable one, go with the flow kind of person. But as I've gotten older and as I've become a mom, no, I have to put my foot down, right? I have to set boundaries, not only for me, but for my daughter to see that growing up. I have to protect my daughter. So I had to be more firm with my boundaries. Who cares if it were friends or family or whatever? I had to say, I'm not okay with this kind of behavior or whatnot. And, you know, I'm not okay with these things. And I have to say, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. And not let anyone guilt trip me. As you guys know, I went through a toxic relationship. And when you're in a toxic relationship, your whole sense of self kind of crumbles. You are constantly worried about what that person you're in a relationship with says about you or what they think about you, or, you know, about upsetting them. You know, you're so worried. You're like walking on eggshells. And in order for me to heal that walking on eggshells aspect, I had to set firm boundaries and hold, you know, even if people said things to me or, oh, you're rude or you're this, I had to hold firm to my boundaries, right? And that's fine. That's what I needed to do, and that's what I continue to do, especially now as I am in a new season of my life and I need to show up as a mother, right? You have to know what your highest vision of yourself is. And when I say highest vision, it's you at your end goal. You, like right now we're talking about confidence. So think about yourself, you as your most confident version, right? And see yourself in that end goal. And as you are in that end goal, you have to act as if you are in that end goal, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But if you are already in your end goal, learn to say no to all the people, things, distractions, whatever it is that does not align with that end goal, right? Any kind of behavior, anything that deters you from that end goal of where you want to be, don't be afraid of saying no to it, right? Don't be afraid of disappointing. That's what I mean by taking up space, is don't be afraid to just have your voice and your presence out there, especially with those around us. Another aspect of taking up space is obviously the physical, right? And I always say, express yourself, right? The masculine energy, we all have feminine and masculine. I've talked a lot about the feminine energy, but we can tap into our beautiful masculine energy and not be afraid of taking up space in that way, right? Not be afraid of showing up outwardly, whether it's the way we dress, the way we present ourselves. What I do want you to keep in mind is not falling into the trap of thinking that the more that you express yourself outwardly or you wear cool clothes and you get attention, that's not necessarily going to raise your confidence, right? That's a beautiful aspect. I always say it's like the frosting on a cake, but it's not everything there is. So don't fall into the trap of thinking the more shocking I look on the outside or whatever it is, the more I'll feel better about myself. No, it's actually the opposite. But if you're a person that's used to kind of, you know, maybe your physical self is like, you know, you're hunched over a lot, maybe you're tall and you tend to hunch, or, you know, you're always on your phone to hide from the world, you know, if you have social anxiety, start wearing things that make you feel good about yourself, because that's the key, is feeling good when you're in them. Wear what makes you feel like your best self, because that's showing your subconscious that you are worthy of taking up space. So your body language is key. You can practice in front of a mirror if you want. It may feel silly at first, but actually standing in front of a mirror and fixing your posture, and, you know, when you put on a new outfit or whatnot, and seeing, you know, how good you look, and it's like you are showing yourself and you're showing the world that you are here, that your presence is known. And I could make a whole other video on presence, but just that, taking up space with your words, with your presence, with the way that you conduct yourself, right? And the way you dress, that all is going to help with your confidence. So don't be afraid to express yourself, and especially if it makes you feel good. So number 4 is to get comfortable, get familiar with your most confident self. So I talked about earlier your highest version, right? Your highest, most confident version of you. Who is that? What do they look like? And this is where we take out our handy dandy journal and we write those things down. So it's important that you journal and you embody. So literally write down, what would your most confident self, how would they act? How would they show up? How would they speak to others? What would their inner dialogue be? How would they treat others? It's important that as you journal these things, you write down your most confident version, not anyone else's, right? Not mine, not anyone, your friends, whoever, your most confident version. You feeling beautiful in your body, in your skin, feeling just like a queen, right? Or a king, right? How would you feel? How would you show up in the world? Would you hunch over? Would you, use your phone to not make conversations with other people in the elevator? Would you walk in looking down or not make eye contact? No, you would make eye contact. You would make your presence known. You would show up. No matter how you're feeling that day, you show up. And I think that's such an important part of confidence, is leaving perfection at the door. And as somebody who has dealt with perfectionism a lot throughout my life, like I had to be absolutely perfect in everything I do, and if I wasn't perfect, which was all the time, I would feel so bad about myself. One thing that really helped me was just to show up, right? Even here on YouTube, right? Creating content, I would have so many videos I wouldn't put out because I just didn't feel so good. I didn't like how my hair looked or my makeup looked, or I was questioning myself. So I started to kind of like leave scripts. I wouldn't use any more scripts on my videos and just talk, right? And just let it be me, my most authentic self. And I was comfortable and I felt great, and that's the content that resonates with people, right? So show up however you are, right? Like as they say, come as you are. So it's all about authenticity. Your most confident self is your most authentic self. Keep telling yourself your authenticity is your superpower. We can have many different superpowers, right? So focus on authenticity, being your truest, most powerful self, not your weakest self, not your most insecure self, not your wounded self, your most authentic self. And you may say, well, Isabel, I feel wounded, or I feel like this. Then focus on healing, right? But that's not your true self. Your true self is powerful beyond measure. Your true self is a creator. Your true self is a lover. Your true self is a nurturer. Your true self is a compassionate, a cooperative being. Your true self is somebody who builds. Your true self is somebody who is optimistic, who is positive, right? And if all of this doesn't resonate with you, it means that you need to do some healing, which is okay, that's fine. But I want you to know that deep down, your true self, just like babies when they're born, they do not question who they are, right? They just are them. They're hungry, they cry. They're dirty, they cry, right? They are just them, right? And we all start like that. We all start as children, screaming and running and playing and enjoying life. That is our true self. And then somewhere along the way, some adult, a teacher, a parent, a caregiver, somebody told us, nope, shh, you're too loud. Shh, you're too crazy. Shh, calm down. You need to focus. You're not good at math. I'm going to be mean to you and treat you bad. Or you're not good at writing, I'm gonna hit you upside the head. I mean, the things that I have heard from my clients and people, just in my daily life about how their life went, I'm like, well, no wonder you have so many, you feel so bad about yourself, or no wonder you have so many insecurities, because as you were a child, when you were the most vulnerable and you should have been built up, you were destroyed, right? Mentally or physically, not even physically, it's just mentally, spiritually. And that's what we have to come back to. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but literally come back to that inner child, that happy, carefree, just, living life in your beautiful glory, right? In your authentic self, your individuality, which a lot of us have lost, is our individuality. Come back to that and you'll see how the confidence will stem from that. Finally, number 5, trust in you. Trust in you. You have overcome so many obstacles in your life. You have been through some of the worst days of your life, and you're here. A lot of you have gone through so many different journeys, health battles, so many things, right? And you all have, each and every one of you listening, you have a beautiful, inspiring story of you going through whatever adversity you've been through. I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you're from. We all have some kind of adversity that we've been through, and we are still here. Some have battled mental health. Some have battled depression. Some have battled, toxic partners and domestic violence and so many different things. And you are here. You're a survivor. And the beautiful thing about surviving difficulty is that you can go through so much, and you are resilient. Human beings are resilient. So trust in yourself, right? Rejoice in the things that you've overcome. You can triumph, not only overcome things, but you can triumph in things. You can win battles. That's the beautiful thing when we view our life as like a hero's journey and we've overcome different dragons and, you know, invaders and things like that. We see our true power. So if you've been through difficulty or you're going through difficulty and that's bringing down your confidence or your self-esteem or the way you feel about yourself, don't let it. Trust in yourself that you can overcome this and that you have everything you need within you right now to overcome your most difficult days, your most difficult battles. You'll see how when you come out the other side, you will have so much love and faith in yourself and in your spirituality, in God, and you will see, wow, I'm actually being supported. I am being protected. I have been protected, whether you saw it or not. So be your own biggest cheerleader. Know that you can overcome anything. Know that you can trust in yourself. It's time to trust in yourself. It's time to trust in your abilities, in who you are, in what you're good at, what you're not good at, in your spirit. And it's time to go out and live your life as that powerful person. So I believe in you. You're watching this, I believe in you. So now it's time for you to go believe in yourself and set out and do or be or accomplish or just live your life on your terms, right? You don't have to do these huge things. Just live your life on your terms. You can do it. You have it in you. I have faith in you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know what it's like to question yourself, question your abilities, and, you know, kind of shrink yourself to make other people feel comfortable, but you don't have to live that way anymore. It doesn't matter who you are, what your journey looks like, or what you look like. You can take up space. You can be your most powerful self. Don't fall victim to anyone or anything, right? Always go within. Always, when the outside world is telling you something, go within and check in with yourself and make sure that you are not falling victim to anyone or anything, that you are staying in your power. So thank you for watching, my angels. And as always, please be sure to subscribe to see more videos from me. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. All that is down below. Always remember this, my beautiful angels, no matter who you may be in this life, no matter what you may be going through or what you look like or what your past has been or what your present is, always remember this, my beautiful angels. You have control of your future, and your true beauty, your true worth, and your true power always come from within. Thank you so much for being here, and I love you. I will see you all very soon. Bye.